Hey everybody. Okay, so what are we doing here? Let's see. Reach over and Christmas lights. What's going on here? And okay. Did you catch that? Alright, so what we've got going on here is some long exposure photography, which means that there are no lights to be seen. Actually, I'm using a flashlight in between takes, but I'm using the flashlight from my camera. So now I have to step very carefully and get a light turned on. Let's see. Can we do this? There we go. All right, so you see the set, and this is just a test. So right now I've got this little, what are those called, bodycon things. Excellent purchase, by the way. So what do we have going on here? Let's hit play mode. You can see that flashing. So we've got extreme exposure at the moment. We've got like a 15-second exposure. And what does that get us? That gets us these images. So what's going on here is I'm sticking those Christmas lights through a hole in the cardboard of this miniature to simulate a campfire. So what's going on here is, you see here, you've got a long exposure. So when I kind of twist and move those lights around, the shutter's open the whole time, so it's not able to get a clear picture of the lights. It just gets this kind of colored light, and it creates with each frame a little variation. Sometimes I stick the lights in more. You can see I didn't do too many frames because this is just a test. Sometimes I stick them through more, and sometimes I stick them through less. The idea here is not to do a green screen shot, but to simulate the flickering of a campfire in stop motion. So I'm going to stick this in the computer and see if it works. And if it does, then I will dress up this. You can see I'm going to need a much longer shot. I'll dress up this body chan. Or maybe I don't need to. I don't know. Looks kind of good. No, I should probably dress it up as a cowboy. But these are pretty cool. Unfortunately, you can't see it very well. But this is long exposure, 15-second exposure. You can see this glaring light, and the whole thing is just lit with a black background. You can see here, it's just lit with those Christmas lights that I have on, and that's it. You can just see I've got my little body chan guy sitting in there, black background. And this is quite fun. It's quite a fun effect. I'm very pleased with it. I still have to dress him up, but I wanted to make sure before I did the work of dressing him up that this was going to work. And I think it does. So we'll have to put it in the computer and see. Anyway, stop that. So how many? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. All right, so 36 shots. So we've got, if I do it at 24 frames a second, 25, right, so 6. So I've got about a second and a half worth of test footage here. So I'll definitely need to set it up so I'm shooting a longer period of time. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you like this effect? Now, there's a little interesting thing is when I don't know if you noticed, when I took the picture, the monitor that I'm using to observe what I'm shooting turned blue. So it casts blue light on the other side of the branches. But I actually think that works really well. Originally, I was just hoping for, the Christmas lights to be the only source of light. But there's no way I can do without that blue monitor casting that blue light on the branches. But I think it works very well. So, yeah. I feel like I should vamp for time and get that 10 minutes in. So let me see what I can do here. So we have, again, the Canon 7D. I'm shooting in both JPEG and RAW. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use JPEGs for this sequence. There's really no cause to use RAW. I'm happy with the colors. And RAW just takes up a lot more processing power to make a stop motion animation out of. And again, we've got the body con. You can order these online. And very good purchase, actually. I really like using them. I like using them for drawing as well. You can get 3D programs, but I don't always like to draw digitally, and I like to be able to kind of just have something that's physically there in front of me. I have nothing against tracing 3D models, but I like drawing and painting in real life, and I like having something in front of me. So, and here are the Christmas lights. I broke one already. I stepped on one. I spent $3 at Target for those. And then here is the setup. That is, you recognize this from before, except before I was shooting it against a green screen from this angle. And that's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm at 7 minutes. I don't know what else to say. This project is taking a lot longer than I thought it would or that I wanted it to. But the fact is that, like I've said before in other videos, I want this to be the best quality it can be. This is an experiment. Chris Young has a very limited budget for his movie, but he is very dedicated to making sure that he's delivering the most quality film possible. And he's given me the time to experiment and give him something of quality as well. I've talked about this in other videos, and I really feel like quality in all your work is important, no matter what the budget or the time frame. You should always try and do your very best work, no matter what, because it's your name on it. It's your resume. You're putting your stamp on it, and quite honestly, geez, I mean, look at this. I really wish. It looks a lot better on the monitor than my phone is capturing. By the way, that little kind of black blinking on there, if you're not familiar with that, that's just the camera's way of telling you something is overexposed. That blinking area is essentially pure white. You can't color grade that and get any detail out of it. Experimenting with stuff like that, I could just go straight green screen. But green screen even that is a challenge. Pulling clean green screens, you may have seen from my other videos that I did a lot of shoots and reshoots messing with green spill. I got Red Giant's, what is it, Primat? What was that called? Kind of an expensive plugin, but green screen is no picnic. There are ways that you can make it better, but when it comes to miniatures and all these branches, I'd much rather find other ways to do it. So I'm going to keep experimenting. I'm going to use black backgrounds. I'm going to use stop motion with long exposure photography. I'm going to actually go ahead and paint a background and drop it in behind these branches and shoot it in camera rather than using green screen and see how that looks as well. I mean, I'm just going to keep trying every single trick that I can to make this something of quality, something unique, something that'll really stand out when the opening credits happen for Brimstone Saint. And I'm going to put some of these elements onto digitalpracticalfx.com. I'm going to do a video soon about compositing in falling leaves because I recently shot against green screen some leaf elements that I put into trap code as sprites, so I had falling leaves. Anyway, I managed to do it, managed to vamp and get over 10 minutes. So thanks for listening, and I will be back with more. We're going to get into compositing soon and other video elements. So I hope you enjoy yourself. And I don't know if you heard that noise, but you know, Plum Creek is supposedly haunted, so I hope that's not a ghost. All right. Have a good one, everyone. Good night. Or, well, it's nighttime here, but, you know, thanks for watching.